Twitch app here. I want to test. Okay, so last time I live streamed, my voice was like completely low compared to the audio. So we'll try this out today. Just doing a little test of that real quick. Anyways, so I have a grain train going down to Famoso, Western Milling. I guess that's what it's called. Anyways, we'll get some things started here. First of all, we got to engage auto on all routes. We are using Rail Driver. So let's get this started. Just make sure. Okay, WMF for all of it. Perfect. We'll see if this recognizes. Let's get Control 11. Get rid of that. Headlights on. Release the brakes. Running pretty good, so I guess I'll just use that. Starting off Fresno yard, so here we go. What is the channel 9696 star 56? Oh, I see. Huh? Okay. And if is it dial tone? I don't usually do it this way. Oh, I forgot how to do this. Let's just do it this way, because I don't remember how to do it. Proceed on signal indication, alright. So we got 100 loads, 13,000 tons, 1.4 horsepower per ton. So it's gonna be a heavy train. Open the windows up a little bit. What do I got for the date? April 20th, 2026. Let's I know this is probably gonna get rid of the rain, but let's do this. Surprisingly, it did not get rid of the rain. Just kidding. It's making it sunny. I guess I should have left that alone. Yeah, the other day I live streamed the Main Central Mountain Division for open rails, and my voice was not as loud as it should be, which I get. I mean, I don't often live stream directly from my computer. I usually, if I live stream, it's through the Xbox for video games on that. I don't often do this with the PC. I would like to try to get into it a little bit more for Run 8, for open rails, for honestly, I want to try City Skylines. I don't know if anybody would actually watch that with me. I know there's a lot more others that do it, like City Planner Plays. He's very well known for City Skylines and other games like that. And I watch his videos like as soon as it comes out. I watch it. It's kind of like Anytime Austin. I don't know if anybody's watched that. I'm the same way. As soon as a video releases from him, I drop whatever I'm doing and watch it. Because I love his videos, you know? And it's the same with a couple other guys. Um, like Warren Van Ross. I like watching his videos as soon as he comes out with one. He's got a lot of knowledge with Run 8, so I do watch a lot of his videos, and that's kind of where I get a lot of inspiration from. Same with Spur Gaming. Um, it's great because like Warren Van Ross, he does a lot of Southern California stuff for Run 8, while Spur Gaming does a lot of like the CSX stuff down in Georgia, Florida area. So between the two, I get a lot of information, and I like it. But anyways, I'd like to get into this more often. Now that I got better days off, in a sense. Like I'm back on the Wednesday, Thursdays off for work, but as you see, today's Monday, and I'm on here live streaming because we're not busy. Unfortunately, we are not busy at work. Um, the containers have kind of slowed down. Mixed freight has kind of slowed down. We still get a lot from northern Maine, but we're starting up a lot of track work and bridge work. So there might be days where I get called to go dump ballast or bring a work train from one location to another um, in preparation of like dumping ballast or dropping rail. We'll see, I guess. Anyways, we'll get this grain train. We'll get it down as far as we can to Famoso. I don't believe I have any train meets along the way. I might. I didn't really look into that before I set this up. I just kind of went with it, and whatever happens, happens. Um, previous signal was restricting, so I'm kind of just playing along right now, poking along, just to make sure that it is like I can't really see. Whoa. All right, so it is a clear, but can we really see it from this far? No. We'll just get going anyways. We'll get up to speed here. Guess we're just gonna take that guy's bumper off. So I haven't really ran this route much. At least the Fresno sub, the south sub I did. I bought that first and started enjoying it, so I bought this route as well. Close that. That's kind of that's too much in my opinion. Control F3. Okay, what do we got for a horn here? I kind of like that one better. Oops, what did I just do? Oh, I know what I did. Oh, what I meant to do. Aha, this is what I meant. Let's see. I may need to turn this down just a bit more. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. Let's approach medium. So we're gonna approach medium. I wonder if that means we're actually gonna be doing the train meet. Like I said, I don't really know off the top of my head. But so now the question is the train noise too low? So let's let me just put it back here to, I think that would be fine. I'll just have to talk a little louder is all, I guess. Now we have an approach signal. Oh, would that be why I can't cross because of that train? I can't tell. Does kind of look like he's crossed over the main line here, though, doesn't it? I have. Yeah, I got that set up. Okay. CSX is actually going by the house right now. That's a very loud horn. Alright. What the heck is going on with this train? I'd hate to see why. I hate to do this, but I gotta see why. Okay, where am I? He doesn't have a signal by the looks of it, but why? He should have a signal. There's nothing coming out. That's interesting. Oh, did he finally get one? Okay, there he goes. Slowly moving. I gotta pay attention. Apparently I got my signal. I was looking at something else. Oh, he just told me anyways. Okay. So get this train back going again. I gotta look something up here. So we know we have a clear signal out of here. Let's go hang out at this road crossing up here and watch the train go by. Let's get rid of this information. And why don't we get rid of this top stuff too? I gotta hand it to Run 8 though. They do have some pretty good sounds for the train rolling by and all that. It's something I wish Open Rails had. Train simulations, their sounds are pretty good for Open Rails, and Navs has some really good sounds too, but for some reason, it seems like Open Rails kind of struggles with producing like decent sounds using those files the way Run 8 does. I don't know, maybe it's something I gotta look into. It's funny, I do this on my days off from what I do. That's alright. It's different. Keeps me sane so that way I'm not just bored doing the same exact thing I do every day at work on the same exact line. Or two lines, I should say. So this train, I looked into it. It comes down off the Feather River Canyon route, which would be pretty cool if we had for Open Rails or Run 8. We do have it for Open Rails. 3D Trains did that a long time ago, and it actually still holds up for its age. Like it's still pretty good. Like overall, I I use it quite a bit. Run it quite a bit actually. For trains that I do know come down into California. It's like, because I do believe this, it, loaded, it comes down the Feather River Canyon and onto the Fresno sub.
Detector, milepost 212.3.
And then on its return trip, I believe it goes over the Donner Pass. I don't know, it kind of would be nice to have a route that goes into Stockton, though. I don't know if Run 8 has it that far yet, but it'd be kind of neat. And then have it split to say, have the section that connects to the Feather River Canyon, and then another section that connects to Donner Pass. That way, the Roseville sub, which is Donner Pass, would be connected to all the Southern California stuff too. I could see that it's eventually going to happen. Maybe. Obviously, a small team run they got a lot on their plate. If I could help them out, I would, but I don't know where I could help. I mean, I do route building for Open Rails, but I feel like that'd take a different learning skill for laying track down on this program. Although I think it's kind of similar to the tools that Microsoft Train Simulator used to have, but I'm not sure.
UP detector, milepost 212.3. No defects. No defects. Total
Okay, no defects for 212.3. You see that car rear end that truck? Do I not have... Oh, they're on. They're just not showing. Okay. Alright. So with the audio being low on the open rails uh, Mountain Division testing that I did the other day, I don't know if I'm gonna upload that to YouTube. It's obviously sitting on Twitch, my Twitch channel right now, but I believe in 6 days it deletes itself. Uh, so I don't know. I mean, I could probably just say, as is, it can go up, and then eventually redo that when I add more to those sections. I like to try to set it up anyway, so that way I can get the helper set on the rear. Um, like an actual activity, because I did notice that there's some pickups too along the way that I'd like to implement, so I might just go ahead and redo the video entirely and then just do it through live stream, because I feel like that's the best way, because it took 4.5 hours to run from Portland, Maine to Fabian's. And that was including 2 set-offs and then a 15-minute in between to get the helpers on through the different consist. Um, so I think live streaming would be better option for that, because if I do pickups as well, Chances are it's got to be about 5.5 hours.
UP detector milepost 218.4.
Which, if that's the case, it seems like it was close to a 8 hour or even a 10 hour run from Portland, Maine to St. Johnsbury, Vermont. So I'm thinking they obviously laid over in St. Johnsbury and brought the train back the next day. Because it was a 4 a.m. start out of Portland, and I believe it was either noontime or 2 p.m. start time on like the following day. I guess I should word that different. So, like, say Monday, you brought a train from Portland to St. Johnsbury. It started at 0400 in Portland, and if on Monday the train started out of St. Johnsbury at noontime or 2 p.m., you weren't going to be rested for that train trip back or get there in time.
No defects. Total axle 424. Train speed 54 mph. Ambient temperature 65 degrees. UP detector out.
No defects again at 218.4. Perfect. Oh, that's a lot of crossings. Still got another one. Granted, back then during the 70s, 80s, I do believe you had 16-hour days on the railroad. But I don't think you'd be able to make a round trip in the same day. I don't think the crews did. I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they took the train to St. Johnsbury. As soon as they got into St. Johnsbury, they handed off that inbound, grabbed the outbound, and returned back to Portland within the same day, or as far as they can. I don't know. I feel like that's a bit too much on one crew. I almost feel like maybe um, you take a train from Portland, do the work as needed on the way across, get to St. Johnsbury about you know sometime between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Go to the hotel or crew bunkhouse, rest for the time, and then noontime, 2 o'clock the next day, take another train back to Portland. That's the only way I could see that happening properly, I guess. I know for us, across the main line, it takes about 5, 6 hours, depending on how much work we have. So we take rest when we get to the bunkhouse. Of course, for us, we have a live train meet halfway, so
QP detector milepost 225.2. Ambient temperature 6 degrees.
like for us, we're all in that 1900. We go in, put our train together. We're out by maybe 2100, 2200, and we meet the westbound like just outside the yard because it's actually our longest siding, so we were able to pass two 10,000-foot trains by each other. Um, and then we do our work along the way if we need to. And once we get into Canada, we hand it off to the Canadian crew. We take rest there, and then following day. So like we'd be done by 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So the following day, we would be back on at 1700 and bring the train back west, meet that eastbound near the yard, and then pull in, hand off to CP, and we're done for the night. Then back in at 17 or 1900, do it all over again. But that's with a live meet, and I think that's right as of right now. That's the only way to work with our track speeds. once we get higher track speeds, I'm kind of curious what the plan's gonna be, if we're gonna do a round trip all in one shot, or what. I know that we're gonna be bumping up the speeds this summer. That's their plan. They want to get a big portion. I think it's like mile 52 to 104 or 102. So 50 miles they want to bump up, and that would be 40-mile-per-hour track. So that's got to make the run time a little quicker. But we shall see. But going back to the mountain division, I don't see, because they obviously didn't do train meets. The only trains they met were the local out of Bartlett. And I believe that was only Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look into it more, honestly. And even with that local out of Bartlett, they would only have maybe 10, 15 cars at most, and usually it's empty box cars heading to Gilman, and the trip back from Gilman, it's usually 5 to 10 cars. But it's something I gotta look into more and kind of do more research on, just so I can get the traffic correct for this route. Like I said, if it's one train per direction a day, I guess. Well, it's 2 trains per day, one direction, but different crews, I should say. Oh God, my allergies are kicking in. That's making me hard to talk. Needless to say, I think when I add more scenery, I'm gonna try to do that this week. Add a little bit more between. I want to head back towards Portland and tidy up a lot of areas that I haven't really focused on lately, because I've been so focused on the scenery between Bartlett and Crawford's that I just haven't been focusing on the other sections for scenery. I want to take a peek here. Where am I right now? Fresno South. I am at Traver. Okay, so I got quite a ways to go. It looks like we are gonna have a train meet though, with the West Colton and Fresno. Driver is another facility I was planning on doing for this grain train, but I decided not to. It does look like I set up a lot of cars for local jobs, though, and I just haven't gotten around to doing the local jobs. It's actually a bit much doing local jobs by yourself. I would like to learn a little bit more about multiplayer with this game and see if I can like work with a friend or whatever to do local work.
UP detector milepost 234.6. Ambient temperature 6.8 degrees.
I just hope we do that train meet and it's not right where I need to be. Okay, no, it's not. Okay, cool. Goshen Junction's the other one. I gotta figure out, do something with the grain train for there too. There's a lot on this line for grain facilities. Grain elevator there. Doesn't look like there's anything there. I actually think I pulled empties out of there and took it north. That's probably why there's nothing there now. I also think I might have updated the WMG. Yeah, I think I updated that. WMA. Yeah, there's cars over there for the local. Yeah, that's right. I think I was going through updating all this because for some reason Fresno sub had things different than what it was showing on the depot. So I changed it up to match what's on the depot. I don't know. I don't know what's exactly accurate when it comes to stuff like that. So because there's also a lot of stuff that's not even marked. I think that's what I was doing, was going through and marking things, because a lot of these weren't marked. Actually, I don't think either one of those were marked up. I'm sure eventually there'll be an update that comes out that updates a lot of, like, will update and add. So I'll have to save this and make sure it's, backed up properly. I never noticed there was no tie. There was like ties there, so it looks like used to be a customer, but not anymore. Still a lot of cars out there though, so it's not technically abandoned. Okay, we'll look at this map one more time. It looks like we're gonna take the Sidon. Okay, cool. So Tellur, Tipton, Quail, Ilmark, Delphar, and Famoso. So I got quite a ways to go still. I think this is the one where I have to break it down in 3 tracks. I don't remember if it holds 100 cars or not, but we'll find out. About an hour and 10 minutes I've been into this, so maybe another hour we'll get there. Notice on this mine there is a lot of orange trees. I believe those are orange. They look orange. Makes sense to have oranges. Coming from California, I believe Halo. I think that's what it's called, Halo. DPU era. Cool. Is Florida, that market for the orange juice and orange down there, not so good anymore. A lot of those orange farms. I'm drawing the blank on what they're called. Orange groves, I guess. A lot of those have kind of dried up with how horrible the weather is down there now. Because I remember the Tropicana juice train was such a massive thing out of Florida, all the way up into New Jersey, and It's kind of just distribute from there. But now it's 5 to 10 cars here and there tacked on to a high priority Z train. It's not like it used to be. It used to be a dedicated train all the time. I believe what they called the salad shooter used to come out of. Did it come out of Delphar? It came out of somewhere, and it used to shoot up heading north onto the Fresno sub. Actually, you know what? I don't know. It must have been. I don't know where it came from. It might have been Delphar. Because I think I set that up and I was going to do that, and then I lost interest in doing it. Because I didn't really know the routing at the time. But I believe that's another one that runs up and goes over the Roseville sub. And it used to go into Chicago, get into Chicago. From Chicago, it cut across into Schenectady, New York. And one of the guys I used to work with actually used to switch that facility out. And he did like car maintenance and stuff like that on the Coal Connect trains, or I believe it was Coal Connect. But yeah, it was part of the salad shooter, they called it. I don't know if that was the official name, but yeah, it used to be all the Coal Connect or something like that going in the Schenectady.
UP detector milepost 243.5. Ambient temperature 69 degrees.
That's the one thing I never understood, why we never like had cold storage like that, like a large facility somewhere in New England. Like even Ayer, Massachusetts, I'm surprised there's not a large facility where they bring in large cuts of refrigerated cars. Portland, Maine would make a decent one, because that's where a lot of, I believe Hannaford has a large distribution center in Portland, near the rail yard. But I don't know. I don't think they would take large cuts of cars. But I mean, at the same time, we could ship out, bring in stuff, and we could ship out potatoes, because that's what we got. Northern Maine is tons of potatoes, and usually we do ship those by rail. If we have enough, we usually ship them by rail. I know a couple years ago we were getting the TILX 80-foot refrigerator cars or something like that. I forget the length, but they were the massive ones, refrigerator units and all. They were going up north and getting loaded with potatoes and heading back west. Looks like we have an approach medium. Probably should start slowing this down. I forget what medium speed is for Union Pacific. I think it's the same as CSX, 30? Oh, let's see if I can look that up real quick. I not seeing it in the right spot on this? So apparently, on Union Pacific it's called advanced approach. Proceed prepared to stop at second signal trains exceeding 40 miles per hour. Proceed prepared to pass the next signal not exceeding 40 miles per hour. When the signal governs the approach to a control point with a 40 mile per hour turnout speed, be prepared to advance on normal or diverging route. So I don't know why it shows as approach medium on here when Union Pacific is specifically different. Why does Union Pacific have to be different than every other railroad? Especially Signal, because they got a approach clear 60, which I can't remember what that is. Okay, well, it is what it is. Approach clear 60 used to be something else back in the day. The approach clear 50 I think used to be, or what I know as, no. So all these signals that I see from Union Pacific are very close to what NORAC used, but they were different names. So when I was on Pan Am's territory, they were different than what is shown here, and this is what's confusing me. Like divergent clear. So on Pan Am that was medium clear. A lot of railroads in the Northeast that's medium clear, whether it's NORAC or G-Corps. So Union Pacific being as different as it is kind of throws me off. So yellow over yellow, that should be approach diverging. Approach diverging, proceed prepared to advance on diverging route at next signal prescribed speed through turnout, which I'm guessing that's going to be 30. But let's see what this shows. That's also an approach medium. And I guess with that said, medium speed is 30. I I feel like Run 8 has to update that because that's strange. Okay, if you're gonna run on Union Pacific territory, I feel like the signal aspect should be a little bit more accurate to what Union Pacific uses. I don't know if anybody has heard of Liquid Death. It's sparkling water flavored drinks, but they got sparkling energy, and I got the murder mystery, and it is tasty. 0 grams of sugar. They don't use sugar in these drinks. And some of the soda flavored ones, they do a little bit of sugar, but still a lot better than actual soda. Okay, 0 grams of sugar, but they have stevia leaf extract. So, I guess the extract isn't really considered sugar. So I see the train up ahead, and I'm getting an interesting signal now. Red over flashing yellow. Diverging advanced approach. Proceed on diverging route not exceeding prescribed speed through turnout, and prepare to stop at second signal. Trains exceeding 40 miles per hour. I feel like I already said that. Okay, never mind. So, I'm so messed up with the Union Pacific signal system, which is not the actual Union Pacific signal system on this route. So I'm a little confused. Oh, using Run 8. Oh, I guess I don't have that SB package yet. Apparently there's a few things in that consist I don't have. Diverging approach medium. See, that doesn't even, what? Where the heck are they getting the, that, okay, I'm not even gonna, I'm all messed up and flustered, so. This be a heavy train, it even has a locomotive on the rear. But it wasn't even that long. Interesting. So it does look like I have a clear signal up here, so that's good. NRP. There's another one. I think that's another grain facility. I'm not 100% sure. It might actually be cement. Maybe that's why I don't have any cars set up there. I don't know. Land O'Lakes is down there, and that usually takes refrigerated cars. Oh, okay. I think I was gonna set up last time I was on this. I think I was setting it up for a local job out of Bakersfield. Speaking of Bakersfield, doesn't look like we have anything coming up. So we should have a straight shot to Famoso. Famoso. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll try, I guess. All right. While this builds speed, I've got to step aside real quick. And I am back. Had to get another drink. This time it's a Liquid Death flavored lime flavored sparkling water. Tastes pretty good. Tastes like a uncaffeinated Sprite.
UP detector milepost 252.2. Ambient temperature 71 degrees.
I actually really like Liquid Death drinks. It's helped me reduce soda intake so much. Like for a while there, I was drinking a lot of soda. Uh, Whether it was Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Dr. Pepper, which I love Dr. Pepper. So Liquid Death does have a Dr. Pepper flavored drink, and it's called Dr. Death, and that is actually my favorite one. That one alone has helped me get away from soda, or at least reduce the intake. So I can't complain there. So I don't know, like if you're just getting into Run 8 or you've had Run 8 for a long time and you use the keyboard mostly to run and operate trains, I honestly highly suggest getting a rail driver or something similar to it. I don't know if there's any other ones, but this rail driver I bought it off eBay. And I think it makes things so much easier with Run 8. I use it here and there with Open Rails, and I use it here and there with Train Sim World and Train Sim Classic. But Run 8, it makes it so much easier to operate trains on. I personally struggled with the keyboard and trying to get used to how it's set up because there's so many key commands. Like if you go into this top menu and you check out the keyboard, which I don't think I can do that while on here. So I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess something up. But there's so much. LHQ, LH. I don't know what that is. It took me a bit to get used to it, and I still didn't really get used to it. I bought Rail Driver, and I've been happy since. And I've been running Run 8 a lot more because of it. So I definitely recommend it if you're gonna get really into Run 8. You definitely should get a Rail Driver device or a similar program, similar setup. And if you do get interested in using Raildriver, I would suggest finding one on eBay. Their website does kind of appear like it doesn't produce the Raildriver like it used to, and it's kind of like I believe a build as you buy it or you sit and wait forever. That's kind of what I noticed. It's like last time I looked at it, it said it was out of stock or whatever, and it could be like 2 or 3 months by the time you get it. So I just went on eBay and bought it, took a gamble and bought it through there. I would also suggest printing out, which I haven't done, and this is my struggle, is printing out the maps of each route that you want to enjoy or want to run, want to learn, because it's helpful. I would suggest printing out the signals as well, 6 signal aspects. Union Pacific has them, CSX has them. I haven't looked into the Norfolk Southern ones, but I believe it's Jovet. Every time you look up signal aspects on like Google, it will actually bring up his signal aspects, and he has them for Union Pacific, CSX. That I do know of. Both the Seaboard and both the Seaboard ACL and Conrail versions of CSX. So that will help if you do like the Mohawk sub and the Selkirk yard routes, which I have yet to purchase. I might try to purchase those this month. I'm not sure. Um, those are kind of close to home, so I really should. Especially because that's where a lot of the freight that I ship around out of Maine goes into Selkirk onto the CSX, various CSX locations. We get a lot of phosphate cars from Florida. we ship out a lot of cars to places like Florida and along the East Coast, and actually even as far as Texas, I do believe for certain products. Spent sulfuric acid, I think, actually goes down to Texas. Houston, I think. I think there's actually a facility near where my brother works down there that takes the cars from us, which is kind of funny. A lot of paper products, newsprint, not as often with newsprint, but printer paper that gets shipped out everywhere in the United States. Wood pulp, kind of the same thing. Pulp, pulp board, we ship that out. Lots of lumber we ship out. Not as much propane that we ship out, but we do take in a lot of propane. We ship out a lot of. Oh, let's see, what else do we ship out? There's some grain companies that ship out oats. I forget who does it, but I believe someone ships out oats. I think there's another one that ships out soy or soybean, or maybe it's just beans. I'm not sure. Tipton, Tipton. So I think Tipton's. We got one, two. Okay, we still got quite a ways to go. Okay. I did notice it's lined up for Famoso, so we'll see if it actually holds that. I'm glad I didn't do the whole Fresno sub as well. That would have been a bit much. If we did from Covell, that would have been a long trip. So I'm kind of glad we did like a crew change here at Fresno Yard. think it's Delfor. Delfor is where I need to request next side. Like once we start going through Delfor, I think I need to get a hold of dispatcher, request the next side, and see if we get into the side. If it doesn't say lined up, I'm not 100% sure if this recognizes the train symbol for Famoso. But actually, let me where did that actually, I think the train that was going to Fresno actually stopped at Fresno. So maybe it does recognize it. South Quail. So that means I got where the heck am I? Erlemont, Erlemont. Wow, Erlemont and Delphar. So we'll see. We're getting there. We're getting there. I hate to keep popping that up, but I don't have the maps printed out. So while I am building the mountain division for the main central, I actually kind of want to start up another project just kind of to take a break from constantly working on Mountain Division, is the Vermont rail system, like in its entirety out of Rutland. So I'd like to have the northern sub from Rutland to Burlington. I want to start that section first. And then from there do Rutland to Whitehall, which would, that might be a little tricky because I don't believe I have the track charts for that at all. But I can mostly do that from memory, as I ran that line quite a bit before I left VTR and came to
UP
EMR.
Victor, milepost 267.7, ambient temperature 73 degrees.
And then from there, I'd either go the Green Mountain Bellows Falls sub or the B&R sub. But that would be a modern run. Like, I'd base it on the 2020 2025 time frame. That way it has Amtrak going to Burlington and stuff like that. Traffic's not as heavy anymore during that time frame, but it does have far more red painted locomotives. I don't know, we'll see. It's kind of just thoughts right now. I don't, probably won't doing these things solid. I would like to do the Lamoille Valley or the St. Johnsbury and Lake Champlain, they called it. Or was it St. Johnsbury and Lamoille County? STJ and LC is what it was. I would like to do that from St. Johnsbury to just outside of Swanton, Vermont. I can't remember the name of it now, but they had tracks that went into St. Albans and they went into another section where it was like on the lake. And they used to have a line that ran all the way across into Rouse's Point, New York. Which then they did have a line that ran from, I think it used to be the Lake Champlain and Ogdensburg Railway. That ran from Rouse's Point to Ogdensburg, New York. But the old Lamoille Valley Rail, I would love to do because it's just like the Mountain Division. It's got twists and turns. It has mountain grades, horseshoe curves. I believe it does go through 2 mountain ranges and then a lot of farmland. Because I think it goes through part of the Appalachian Trail and then, or the Appalachians and then the Green Mountains. Um, but that would be a pretty neat line. And then I would like to do the Lake Champlain and Ogdensburg section, but the only problem with that is I don't have track charts for that either, and or grade charts. It's mostly flat. There's no real like. I wouldn't say mostly flat, but I would say it is a lot of rolling terrain. There's not really big grades. There's not mountain grades. There's not twists and turns like you'd see in the mountains. It's kind of like this line here. Um, so I don't know if I'd do that one. It would kind of complete the western portion of the fictional railroad I have, Central Maine and Ogdensburg. But I think Portland to Rouse's Point would be fine enough. Connecting with essentially CP there as well. Because if I connected to CP there, all the traffic could go there instead of St. Johnsbury. And St. Johnsbury would be more so like stuff for VTR or any CR. And then the eastern portion of the CM, the Central Maine and Ogdensburg, would be Portland to essentially Vanceboro. But that's it's over 250 miles that I don't really want to do right away. And there's not really big grades on that either. I mean, the closer you get to, I guess, Mattawamkeag, you'll get some good grades, but nothing too exciting. Although I kind of want to do Rotterdam Junction to Ayer, Massachusetts. I know that's quite a bit of trackage, but I would like to do that in like the 2025-ish time frame. Um, with the Genesee and Wyoming owning pretty much, well, not owning, but the joint venture between CSX, Norfolk Southern, Berkshire, and Eastern has it, which is a G&W company. Um, they don't really do container traffic for JB Hunt through there anymore, but they still do a lot of the grain trains. They do the auto racks. They do um, mixed manifest trains, as well as like uh, interchange jobs with the VTR. The interchange trains with New England Central going up into Brattleboro, as well as south to Springfield, I think it is, on the um, Con River Division, they called it. Um, Plus, you go through the tunnel. The tunnel is pretty cool. But I don't know. I don't have grade charts for that either, so it's difficult to do certain routes like that. Like if I don't have firsthand knowledge of running on that property, I don't quite know the grades, and without grade charts, I can't really get it squared away through that and Google Earth. Um, so it might be just another one that's kind of ignored. The only grade charts I actually do have is for all the main central trackage, um, Vermont Railway trackage, at least most of that. I have the Central Maine and Quebec trackage, which was former Bangor and the Rustic, and Canadian Pacific. Maine Northern Railway, I have track charts for, or grade charts for. I don't know. I guess we'll just figure it out as we go. Maybe I'll just stick to the Mountain Division, play around with that.
UP detector milepost 278.2. Ambient temperature 75 degrees.
Spawning A4 LA. LAUPT3. That's interesting. I don't know what that is. Oh, getting close. We're getting close. Here we are at Delphar. Sweet. Yeah, I believe this is where the Halos. Yep, there it is. This, I do believe this is where the refrigerator train used to start. The salad shooter, or at least one of them. I think one was here and one was out of like Washington State, I want to say. All right, let's see. Let's get a hold of the dispatcher here. Let's see. Request next Sidon. Sidon available. All right. So he actually did. He actually. Yes, he did. Perfect. I like it. So that's what? That is. Oh, this doesn't give us the mileage. 284. So that's 6 miles. 6 more miles, and we will attempt to put this train away. Clear signal, so I gotta step aside real quick. Alright. Notch 8 is not doing a whole lot, because we're at a 0.25% grade. That's actually kind of crazy. Give me a clear signal. Shouldn't that be a? I don't. Oh, never mind. I was looking on the wrong side. That's a. Oh. It's what the game calls an approach medium. Boy, this little grid is actually slowing this train down pretty good. There's a lot of cows out there. Hmm.
UP detector milepost 288.9. Ambient temperature 78 degrees.
Yeah, more Slack action than I really wanted. So I just want to make sure it's not sending me back out. Okay, it's not. One thing I want to do. Wow, that's going real slow. I want to make sure. Okay, we got a red signal, so I'm curious how we're supposed to pass that. Do I do the same thing? Request next sign? We'll see, I guess. Oh, this is gonna be an issue. Oops. Can I... Can I just do this? No, that's not what I want. No, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Uh, I guess I don't know how to, I don't know how to do that, I suppose. I guess what we'll do is we'll just pull up to this, signal and just kind of park the train there, because I think I gotta get rid of that other train first. I kind of forgot that was even there. See what he, see what he can give me. Um, no, never mind. I don't know how else to do that unless I shut this off and then do that and then do that and then I guess kind of start going by that and then get back and it's giving me a restricting, it looks like. restricting, and I can. I know. I think what I'm gonna do here is just delete these. The worst part is breaking it all up because I only have that little short section. So I may have to do it. I think it was like 40 cars can be held in here, or 30. Okay, now I should be able to turn this back on. And I'm gonna pretend we have a utility man and getting switches line for us. I'll go on this track first. If I can click it. We'll back down this track. Grab more cars. Grab that one. Probably should have done that when I was over here. So if I do 40 cars per track, which I'm hoping is what fits, I should only need 2.5 tracks. But if I need to do 3 tracks, or 3.5 for 30, we'll have to do that. Do it that way too. So I'm gonna go back as like an on the ground guy. Okay, 5683. Looks like 40 more cars. If we can fit 40. Okay, 30 more, 30. Okay, let's make it 20, 20. 15, 15. Whoa, let's not go that far down, huh? Should be 10 more. We'll do 10. Let's actually let's go down here. Oh, I could probably fit quite a bit in here. Maybe 50 cars? I'll just sit down here and kind of chill. If I do it right, it should be about 50. So I think what I'll do is I'll actually just hang out in the cab. And once I get about 3 cars from that switch, is I'll go back, make the cut, pull into the track, then run back down the other track, grab what I need, pull up this track, and that should honestly fill both these tracks. I shouldn't have to fill 3 of them. So you could probably, if I could fill 2 tracks with 100 cars, you should be able to do 120 or 115, which is kind of average for these. Okay, so let's bring it down to a stop here. And let's go back here. So if I cut this car behind this car, these 3 should be able to fit in just fine. There is a fly that keeps flying in my face, and I'm not appreciating it. So technically, this train will be occupied. I'm gonna need this. So that should get these cars into the clear. I don't even know how many cars that was left. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Ooh, stop too short. Stop too short. Let's go back and get those other set. See how many cars this was too. So 51 cars I was able to squeeze in there. So I should be able to do the rest with this track. Or at least be pretty darn close. Oh, let's see if that actually put the other engine in the clear. It did not. So I think I might have to take 2 cars. Yeah, I take these 2 and spit them over to the main, I guess. I should have room for that, right? We'll find out. I don't know how many handbrakes need to be applied, but I also don't know how, if they are going to do it from this end or the other end. Why can't I click these? That's weird. Whatever. Also, why am I not moving? Did I not put in notch 1? Yeah, I gotta line down that track. Okay, I need to go down here. That's lined out. And then this will be lined out. It's because it's no longer attached to my train. Is that why I can't grab those? I want to say right about here is where we're going to park the power. There, I think we'll tie these down and we will call it. First of all, we'll set this as lead unit. There. Okay. That's where we'll call it.